Hello students, I am Meena Madam. Today I am going to start second chapter, that is constitutional design. But before starting this chapter, I would like to remind you some points. First one is that online classes are compulsory, so don't miss it. Whatever is taught through online classes will be not repeated when school opens. Second thing is that you should send your response regarding chapter done through your message, whether it is positive or negative. Third thing is answers of the questions given after the explanation of the topics must be written in your answer copies. Fourth is learn the chapter, learn the question answers, and get ready for a test. Now let us start the chapter. In this chapter, today we have to study about the freedom struggle of South Africa and the needs of a constitution. Now, in fact, South Africa also did a long struggle for getting its freedom from European countries like India. In fact, in South Africa, freedom struggle was led by the Nelson Mandela. He and 7 other leaders were sentenced to life imprisonment, that is 28 years, in 1964 for opposing apartheid in Africa. African National Congress, the short form is ANC, in the leadership of the Nelson Mandela, launched protest, marches, and strikes against the apartheid and segregation, and finally got independence on 26th April 1994. First of all, we must know the meaning of apartheid and segregation. In fact, apartheid is a policy of discrimination based on racial discrimination practiced against the black citizens in South Africa by white government for a long time. Here, racial discrimination means discrimination on the basis of the color of skin. Second term is segregation. In fact, apartheid policy practiced by European countries in South Africa divided people of Africa on the basis of their skin color. The Society of Africa was divided into 3 sections. First one is the native people of the South Africa who were black in color, and they formed 3/4 part of the Africa. They were called blacks. Second were white Europeans who ruled over South Africa were called whites. Third category consists of colored people who were the people of mixed races in South Africa. Due to the apartheid policy of white government, blacks, the native people of South Africa, were exploited in different ways. The first of all, that the blacks were not allowed to live in white areas, and white areas were those places where white people lived. The blacks could work in white areas if they had permit. Second is the means of transport, hotels, pictures hall, libraries, public toilet, Every public place was separate for blacks and whites. Third was that blacks did not have right to form association or protest against wrong policies of white government. This system was called segregation. So during the rule of white government, the native people of South Africa even didn't have their civil rights, whereas white government enjoyed a lot of privileges and facilities. After the independence of South Africa, the white people did not leave South Africa as the Britishers left India after the independence of India. After the independence of South Africa, whites were afraid of losing their privileges and property. So they appealed black leaders to forgive them for their atrocities they did during their rule in South Africa. Here, atrocities means exploitation and killings. After a long discussion and negotiation, both whites and blacks agreed on some points. The points agreed by the whites were: the first one, the principle of majority rule, and that of one person, one vote. It means they accepted the democratic setup in South Africa. Second, they accept some basic rules for the poor and the workers. Second thing, conditions accepted by the blacks. The first one was the majority rule would not be absolute. It means that the interest of the minority would be also preferred. Second thing is the majority would not take away the property of the white minorities. Now we have to see why do we need of a constitution. In fact, each and every country needs of constitution, whether it is written or unwritten, due to some reasons. Some of the reasons are: the very first one is constitution generates a degree of trust and coordination. In fact, people of different caste, religion, language can live in a country if they have trust and coordination among themselves in a country, and this is generated by the constitution, because constitution ensures their rights and rules are to be done according certain rules and regulation. Second is formation and functions of a government. In fact, there should be certain rules and regulation for the formation and the functions of a government to ensure the trust between people and government. Third is limits of the power of government. In fact, democracy is the rule of people, and it is not possible without the rights of the people. These rights are the limits of the power of the government, which are mentioned in the Constitution. Fourth is aspiration of the people. Here, aspiration means desires. In every country, people have their own aspiration, desires. According that, they want to create, they want to develop their society, and it is also expressed by a constitution. Now it is the time to dictate some question. Listen this lecture very carefully, or it would be very easy for you to write these questions. These questions are, the very first one is, name the leader and political party that led the freedom struggle in South Africa. Define apartheid. Third question is, write a short notes on segregation. Next question is, write about agreement done between whites and black people after the independence of South Africa. And last question is, why do we need of a constitution in a country?